Okay, good. I record the meetings, everyone, so. um,
So Mike, am I going to do the quick presentation at the beginning or at what time do you want me to?
Tom is running the meeting
First.
and you
We have you
are
first. We have you first. We might just
Okay.
go quickly over. We added somebody, so I think maybe we'll shorten. Maybe we won't go through all the introductions of all the neighborhoods and just go straight to you and then because we added somebody. So I want to make sure we
Okay.
get through everything.
Okay, no.
And then we can do the neighborhood, go check around the neighborhoods at the end, I think.
Okay, sounds good.
okay. I think Lisa Tanner's email had the wrong name, but we'll let that slide.
I had nothing but trouble. We had nothing but trouble getting into here, and I just finally stumbled on a way to do it.
Yeah, sometimes people have trouble. Sometimes they just slide right in.
Yeah, what I did is I opened my Zoom account and then pasted in the numbers or typed in the numbers of this meeting at work, but nothing else. And sending it out on the PDFs through several different platforms didn't help.
Mhm. So Matt Liffin is joining us. He's our area lieutenant or somebody's. Hello, Matt.
I think if we have a majority of people here around 7:05, might be a good time to start.
6:59 by my universal clock.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we want to give it, I usually give it another 5 minutes for people to come in. Man, haven't just joined. So we're up to 8.
How big was the guest list?
How the guest list that we solicit? I don't even know, but they're coming in quickly now.
All right, Lisa, you're Lisa Tanner today.
Share one of my laptops with my husband, so we go back and forth.
Hmm. All right. Get rid of that. Jeanette. Pam Riddlemeyer is here. Danielle. Hello, Jeanette. Susan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm enjoying the next phase of my athletic career.
Oh.
Are you preparing for another run?
I am. I'm going to do a double. I'm going to run Sydney in September and I'm going to run Tokyo again in March.
And what's your training like daily then for that?
I run 4 days a week and do strength training 2 days a week and get a massage 1 day a week.
There you go.
important part, the massage.
Yes. So at any rate, yeah, let's get rid of that. All right, so Tom, it's your call, but it's a 7:02. I think we can give it a couple more minutes.
I'm fine with it. That's, no, I was thinking maybe 7:05.
All right.
Oh, Mike, I think you're muted, Mike Caggiano.
Yeah, your microphone sounds really good this week.
Yeah, no, there you go, Mike. Good.
Unusual.
Cindy Koneman? Are you with us, Cindy?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Hi, what neighborhood are you with?
I'm in Laguna Vista.
Oh, okay, welcome, a new,
Yeah, we're new
member.
to the meeting here.
Yeah, Lisa Tanner takes notes, so she needs to know where everyone's from. So,
Okay.
That's right.
her minutes. Danielle, I see you're here.
Yeah, hi. Good
Hi,
evening.
good evening. And Simontini, that's Seema from Woodlake, right?
Yes, that's right. I'm here too. So
Great.
good to see you all.
Yes, we see your name. Your camera.
Oh, okay. Camera didn't turn on. Maybe
Yeah.
now.
There you are.
There she is.
Hi, everybody.
How's Woodlake doing in the storm? You didn't lose any of those big trees? What about along the high school?
We did. Yeah. I don't think it's a big tree, but we did have some like stuff falling off from the trees, and we had to, the tree itself did not fall, but the branches fell off, a lot of it, so they had to clean up and everything, so
Yeah.
not very pretty.
I can tell you that my daughter lives in Lorrydale, out by George Avenue, and
Mhm.
they have 3 balconies that came down with trees.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we live in Harbortown, of course, and a lot of big branches, but we didn't lose any. We lost 2 arbors in the last term, didn't lose any in this one, but Lorrydale's been without power for 2 days, I think.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I used to live in Woodlake. That's why I'm asking. I used to be their rep years ago, and then I moved. But we lost right outside the clubhouse. We lost a big tree years back,
Yeah.
and then one of those kind of young eucalyptus along the school right of
Mhm.
way. One of them fell over, but luckily went and crashed into the grandstands. Nobody was there, obviously, but
Wow.
they've lost a few.
Yeah, this time eucalyptus trees on El Camino near past Burlingame, 2 eucalyptus trees fell. I go to work to Skyline, so on that road I saw 2 trees that had fallen off, and
Wow.
it was just a nightmare for traffic.
Well,
Yeah.
it's dangerous. It's the size
It's
of those.
dangerous. Yeah.
Somebody's going to lose a home. I mean, if you ever really take a good look at those, they don't belong there at all anymore.
Yeah.
It was beautiful in 1870 when they planted them, but they're really regretting it now. I think that there's going to be a lot of dispute going on over there. I feel sorry for the.
Yeah, eucalyptus aren't the right trees for.
No. I mean, they're magnificent in the right place, but not there.
Yeah, when I lived in Australia, I had
Yeah, you're right.
eucalyptus trees all over the place.
Yeah.
and
I mean, they smell wonderful. I mean, they're magnificent trees, but you got to know what you're doing.
Yep.
So 7:06, and I think it's
Time
been
was
a
alright.
couple minutes since somebody joined, so I think we'll go ahead and get the meeting started.
All right, go ahead, Tom.
Tonight's meeting is focused around senior help. So we have our first presenter, Esmeralda Rodriguez, who is with Rebuilding Together. And Esmeralda, if you want to share your screen, if you have a presentation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for meeting, and I'll start my presentation here. Okay, I hope everyone could see this.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Oops.
That's the one you wanted.
Yes. So Rebuilding Together is a nonprofit here in Redwood City. And it's about helping neighbors, and we focus on home safety. So we're going to go over a little bit about who we are, what work we do in the community, and how to support. So Rebuilding Together, if you're not familiar with our program, is a national program. We have over 130 affiliates over in 39 states. And like I said, we focus on home safety, home repairs, and we also do community facilities in this area. Here in Northern California, I would say we have our partner agencies. We have Rebuilding Together Silicon Valley, East Bay, Berkeley, Rebuilding Together San Francisco. So we have quite a few affiliates here in this area, which it's really nice. And Rebuilding Together Peninsula here, serving San Mateo County and Northern Santa Clara County, has been here since 1989. So quite a few years. Our vision is safe homes and communities for everyone. And our mission statement is repairing homes, revitalizing communities, and rebuilding lives. And here, right, we have our one of our managers. And let's see here. So what kind of repairs we do? So we do fall prevention, like I mentioned, and home modification. So everything that prevents our population, which is the majority seniors, from falling or to be able to stay in their home as long as possible. So we do grab bars, accessible ramps. We do some health related maintenance and healthy housing. So basic electrical, plumbing, landscaping, painting, fencing. And then, once in a while, we'll do the whole carpet removal, floor repairs, and definitely handrails. That's something that we do quite often. Like we see here, we have some examples of the work we did, which is a lot of stairs to be able to make sure that individuals are coming in and out of their home safely. We do beautification. You can see on the bottom of this slide, we have a house that got painted and landscaping. And the one on top, this house was years of severe plumbing issue and leak. And once they started trying to fix the leak, they discovered that there was just a lot of damage. So they got quite a renovation at this home. And at the top is one of our technicians at the time. So our core program, we have National Rebuilding Day, which is now it's actually 2 days out of the year. We have one coming up in the last Saturday of April. It's when we have about 15 sponsors and we have 15 projects, which is in between homeowners and community facilities, that we have a team of people that come and volunteer to do the work. And then, so those are more volunteer friendly jobs, more like painting and cleanups and landscaping. And then we do some specialties groups as well, where we have a group of volunteers that come they come through a construction company that do more specific jobs. And then we have the Safe at Home, which is a year-round program, which more smaller repairs. And these are grants that we get from the cities and from the county as well. And we have special team builds, which would be, just a build that we do in a certain area or a certain community that we're trying to focus on. So who benefits from our program? People that are eligible are residents, are homeowners, owner-occupied residents, and they're low income. And low income here in San Mateo, which I'll go over in a minute, but for one person is, if they make less than 104,000 a year, they qualify for our program. So it's, even though here in quote unquote, it's low income, the threshold is pretty high. And our typical families are older adults. We do serve veterans, and we have special grants sometimes that we are able to pull for veterans and individuals with disabilities and families as well. So how do we do the work? We have volunteers, we have special vendors that work with us and volunteer their work and their time, and staff. So we have 2 technicians at the moment that do the mostly this Safe at Home program that's year round. And we have, like I said, we have a lot of volunteers that just come on the regular basis and do a lot of the work. And this is an old picture. Sorry, we don't have an updated one, but I'll work on getting an updated picture. And like I mentioned, who's eligible? Right now, we're currently serving all San Mateo County, and we're just Mountain View and Palo Alto right now. We have contracts, so I apologize for this slide not being updated, but we're not currently serving Sunnyvale or Los Altos. We do have right now, I don't know if you heard, but the HUD funding is being delayed through the county. So right now those projects are done really slow, but we especially need participants in the city of San Mateo to apply. We do a certain amount of projects every year, and every year it's hard to get San Mateo homeowners to apply. So if that's why I encourage everyone that if you have a house in a neighborhood, if you have a neighbor in your neighborhood that needs a ramp, that needs grab bars, and they seem to qualify for our program, please apply, because we could do a lot more sometimes than just grab bars or railing or basic plumbing. We go to the home and do all inspection. So I'll go over that in a minute. And what documents do we ask? We just first 2 pages of your income tax, just to prove income. We ask for a current utility bill and a property tax bill. So just that's all the 3 documents that we ask, plus an application. And here we go. So just some home maintenance reminders that we encourage everyone. Check under the sinks, check water heaters, clean dryer vents, gutters, and replace smoke detectors. And those are something that maybe for some individuals, it's really easy to do, but for some of our population, it's hard to get on those ladders, or we don't encourage individuals to do so. And that's something that we could do very easily within our program. And we do a healthy home and safety inspection that we go over the whole house and see what type of repairs. We check under the sinks, we check your dry vents, we check, we could do a lot of these things and replace or cleanups. How am I in time? Do we have a few minutes so I could show a quick video?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I'll show a quick video here.
Is there sound or?
Sorry, are you able to hear it?
No.
No.
Okay, I have encountered this and I don't know how to fix it. Let's see here. I wonder if I could do at least the subtitles.
I can't help you.
Sorry?
I'm looking to see if there's any setting that I could adjust, and I don't see any. I'm sorry.
Subtitles are fine. Esmeralda, I think if that's what would be speaking, I think the subtitles that are falling under here is fine.
Oh, okay, you do see subtitles?
I see median household annual income on this one.
I think those are just our general ones, but I'm afraid I won't be able.
Esmeralda, did you click share sound? Do we need to share screen?
Um,
There's a little box you have to click to share the sound when you share the screen.
okay, thank you. Let me try.
Then you have to stop share and then do it over.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah,
There we
much
go.
Oh, thank you. Let's see here. Okay.
136 homes repaired. 6 community facilities repaired. 100 people with disabilities served. 36,114 medium household annual income.
It's a huge difference when you hear people is coming, but when you see the people and you feel the energy and you see how they are giving this gift to you, it's awesome.
We are here to help a neighbor, a veteran, help him be able to come out of his house, go to the park. Providence is very much community-based, so there was no hesitation.
They're taking out the time from their family, probably from their work, for their hobbies.
Well, I think it's just community engagement. We're all, day to day, all of us are very busy in our work and personal lives. So this is a moment in time to really engage with the community.
I don't get to do this every day. I really do enjoy it. At least twice a year, I try to donate my time or, volunteer. This is just one project. This is not going to change the universe, but for this house or this daycare, it will. And that's all that matters for another year.
The person that we're helping needs a wheelchair. His house elevation is higher than stepping down, so we helped build a ramp. And then when he thanked us, when I saw his eyes get bigger and light up to see that, and then he actually said, now I can go out. I haven't been out since January. I looked at my team, and I think a lot of us cried. I mean, I could feel it. I could feel it.
I could have never got this done myself. You people made a difference for everybody. This is beautiful. This is what I need if I get out of this house. I've been locked up since January at home. Couldn't get outside. So now I got sunlight. I can go to the new park across the street. Got freedom again.
COVID showed who has the means, like to live comfortably at home. And then you realize people who don't have the means and can't get out of your house.
I just re-emphasize the importance of a safe shelter. It's more important than ever that we redouble our efforts to make sure everyone is housed in a safe environment.
I recommend it to every single person that I know, whether you work with me or you're my friend. It didn't take a lot from one person. It just took enough from all of us to make a big difference.
Quiero dar las gracias a Rebuilding Together por darnos esta oportunidad y por todo su apoyo, y ojalá siga habiendo más personas que sigan ayudándolos con estos programas, porque en realidad ayuda mucho.
We allow homeowners to age in place. If we're not present, then homeowners would go to nursing homes or assisted living facilities and lose that equity. It allows homeowners to stay in their homes, keep that generational wealth passed down to their family members.
For over 30 years, that's been what we've been about, is neighbor helping neighbor. That's how we got started, and that's what we continue to do. And we're still out there doing the work. We're still providing safe homes for people to shelter in. We're still responding to the need just as we always have been.
Repairing homes.
Revitalizing communities.
Rebuilding lives.
And let's see here. So how can individuals, homeowners, neighbors apply? They could just call our office. We could mail an application, and our application is on our website. That it's downloadable, and fill it out and submit it via text, pictures, email, fax. We do all of them. So and if anybody needs assistance with the application, I'm willing to go to their homes and assist them with the application as well. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Any comment, questions, or concerns?
Jeanette, you need to unmute.
Sorry, Mike. Normally I talk a lot, so I have to mute myself, and you know that. Esmeralda, thank you. I was saying I was crying, so I took myself off. I'm crying because I love this. So, and I have a ton of people I'm going to tap into. How do we volunteer?
Yes, if you could just send an email to our info@rebuildingtogether.org, and you know, we usually mail that or let you know about this questionnaire about what type of volunteer work you want to do, and then we try to match you up when needed. So we have office, or if you want to be on a site or help somebody with landscaping, or depending on your time and need. But we usually get the sponsors that come and do volunteer. So if we have a special expertise that we could use, that's also appreciated.
Okay, and then I promise this is my last question, then I'll open it up for everybody else. You said grants. Do you do any California focused grants, or is it pretty much county? How does the grant or your own funding work?
Yes, we do national grants as well. So whatever we feel that there's a matchup with our philosophy, we try to tap into those. So we try to get special, like Lowe's, they do special funds as well. So we try to tap into those grants. And then besides the HUD and the county and city, we get special grants for like veterans or you know, whatever's out there. We have a grant writer that usually she works on, and development that work on that.
Wonderful, thank you.
Great. Susan, you have your hand up. Yeah.
Yes,
Tom,
hi, can you hear
see the
me?
hands too?
Can you hear me? Okay. All right, so I just wanted to mention I mean, we're very familiar with your work. It's very commendable. I'm imagining that I couldn't believe that no one in the city of San Mateo, because there are pockets of real need. And so I was wondering if you've connected with the core service agencies, Samaritan House, Envision Shelter Network, which is now Life Moves. They have, you know, all the outreach teams. They have all of and St. Anthony's and St. Vincent de Paul. So St. Vincent de Paul's downtown San Mateo. They have a lot of families that come get their mail and other services there. So just wondering, you must have connected with those agencies, right?
We have connected with some, and they are helping us with the outreach, and during COVID vaccines and things like that, we try to table. We were at the FEMA event that we like to table, but you know, with COVID, everything got slowed down. So now we're trying to again put ourselves out there and really be there at the fairs. And but sometimes we need help, because you would be surprised how many people don't still know about our program, and we still need to connect with those individuals.
If you wanted to ask a question.
Yes, hi, Esmeralda. Thank you so much for that presentation. It's just mind blowing. I love this program, and I'm so glad that you're doing it. Now, you mentioned the income limitation. If somebody is below that income and they apply, are they guaranteed to have you all come out and take a look? And then what's the limitation as to how much they can have done?
Yeah, so once they apply and it seems like they would qualify for our services, we have to submit that to the county or jurisdiction, and then they approve it for a certain amount of money. And then when we know how much that grant is, then we see the extent of the work that we can do. Sometimes we go to the homes and it's beyond our capacity. So and so sometimes we won't be able to do the work. It just depends on the timing, where they're applying from. And then but we always try to go to the home and assess it and see if it's something that we could do or not, or we could get a vendor to do, or vendor it out. And in regards to, and then once it gets approved, then we schedule it.
Mike, you have a question?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Rebuilding Together, you've been active at North Central here, the Handsome organization. I'm pretty sure we've been boosting your efforts before COVID, I believe. It's the same organization.
I believe so. A lot, it's
Pretty sure.
yes, we are in the county, in the city, and then some of the homeowner associations websites, but we still need more outreach, especially in the city of San Mateo, which we never get enough clients. And,
Really? I'm surprised.
And we do a big mail out. I don't know if some of you got our, we did a big mail out postcards to pretty much a lot of the city of San Mateo. So we're trying.
Great.
Yeah, I guess the slide that kind of caught my attention was there seems to be some disparity between incomes between San Mateo and Santa Clara County. That just seems interesting that different areas have different metrics and how they're judged.
And yes, and we followed the HUD HUD guidelines.
So I think as well, some people might be shy about asking. So I think if you notice that the house could use some work, you might knock on the door and tell them about the program.
Yes, we do some door-to-door sometimes in certain areas, and
yeah, I was speaking,
but it's
more
tough. Yeah.
to the neighborhood groups.
Yeah, I think, Mike, I totally get where you're going. I think that there's a lot of, how do I say? I think as a Burrell Association and a person here, I would feel comfortable asking folks here, but I also find that others are very reserved and do not want to necessarily acknowledge that they might need some assistance. So as we continue to build this neighborhood association, I hope those dialogues happen and we start to identify groups or people that know another person that might be able to utilize this. So Esmeralda, you opened up a door, I think, in both Pam and my own thoughts as to how we can encourage that within at least this particular association, and I hope all of us in San Mateo.
Let's bury them in work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
And if any questions arise or concerns or comments, please send us an email at info@rebuildingtogetherpeninsula.org or directly to me at esmeralda@rebuildingtogether.org.
Thank you, Esmeralda.
Much for joining us tonight and sharing all that wonderful information. And
thank you.
We're lucky to have an organization like yours in San Mateo and San Mateo County to help those who need help.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Mike, do we have Monica in the waiting room or not?
No, we don't have Monica.
Okay. We had her second on the list, so I'm wondering if we might want to move forward with Dave's presentation.
Dave, are you with us? You're on mute.
Yep, I had to find the unmute button. I am here. My apologies. My usual office is under repair right now. I'm on a laptop that the camera doesn't work, but that's good because I have a miserable cold. You don't want to see me anyway. And so I've asked Michael if he could possibly run the slides for me also, because this little machine I'm on isn't the greatest thing in the world.
Right. So, oh, wait a minute. Monica just entered the room.
Okay.
So we may be back.
So go back to Monica.
Yeah.
Because I think Monica had a time constraint.
Okay, I'll go back to mute.
Apologies. Thank you.
Good. Monica?
Hello.
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, I think I need to shut off my screen sharing, so.
Did you have a presentation, Monica, or?
Yeah, I have a PowerPoint that I may sort of loosely use. If you want me to share it.
That'd be great.
Let me open up here. Let's see. Share.
And while we're waiting, everybody, Monica's with the San Mateo Age Friendly Group.
I can never find what I'm looking for. Here it is. Okay. Okay. Hi. So I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Monica Lee, and I have a number of hats that all have to do with older adults in San Mateo County and in the city of San Mateo particularly. And I'm here today because I wanted to take an opportunity to tell the homeowners associations in the city about our age-friendly initiative that the city of San Mateo is engaged in presently, and just give you a little bit of a background of what that is all about, and then I hope to get you interested and perhaps get a little bit of your support for the work that we're doing. So let me do the slideshow here. You see the slideshow now, just without my stuff here on the side?
I think you have to hit another button.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you see my little icons.
If you go up to where it says from beginning, up right above you, move your arrow up and now to the left. And the row below where everything's white, there you go. The way
From beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click that. And it should
But then you get it sideways.
No.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah. I do.
Okay. That's good because that's funny. I have two screens. One screen is good, the other one isn't. Okay, sorry. So let me just back up a minute. The age-friendly initiative is something that was started by the World Health Organization in, I believe, 2005. And the World Health Organization still supervises the effort worldwide, but in this country, it's administered by the AARP. So we are dealing, as somebody who has applied to be an age-friendly city, we're dealing with the AARP here in this country. And what the AARP and the WHO have done is they've identified 8 domains of livability. They're pictured here that should inform a community's efforts to make the community more livable for older adults and everybody, really, people of all ages. So these are the 8 livability domains.
Monica, I'm not seeing the 8 on my screen. I'm only seeing your first slide.
You do what?
I'm not seeing this slide. I'm only seeing your first slide.
So, well, see, that's the problem. I'm not sure. Let me.
Maybe try pressing the down arrow to change the slide. Or slide arrow.
See, I have not used this way before, so I'm a little.
And did you click on the?
Monica, you may need to click from current slide and it will go to presenter view.
I don't see anything that, let me just end slideshow.
if that's.
I
what
think,
you want to do.
I think it's because you have two screens, so you can only share one of your screens.
Oh, okay, so then let's just keep doing this. You do see the slide itself right now?
Now we can see it.
Okay, great. So let's just, yeah, let's forget about the slideshow. The city of San Mateo applied to become an age-friendly city back in September of 2020. That was an application that was approved by the city council and then was submitted to the ARP with a letter from the mayor at the time. And before we have that, yeah, and by submitting that application, the city committed to actively engage with residents and local advocates to make San Mateo an age-friendly place to live. The ARP requires of all applicants that they submit an action plan within 2 years of applying. And then the cities or other communities have 5 years to complete that action plan and what they've planned to do. So we have, the city has an action plan. The Age-Friendly Task Force conducted interviews with all city departments and hired a consultant with experience in preparing such plans. And we submitted the final action plan in November of last year, 2022. If you're interested in looking at it and reading it, I'm sorry, you can find it on the City of San Mateo website under Age Friendly. Just click on it and you can read the whole thing. The action plan that we have identifies 4 what we call inaugural projects that we're undertaking. They are the safe walking routes for seniors and everybody. That's one project. We have a coordination of communications about local and regional senior services and events. That's the second project. We have intergenerational programs and events, and then age-friendly business recognition certification project. I have slides for all of these. If you have time, we can go through them, or I can just concentrate on the one that I wanted to specifically highlight for you, because I think that's where your organization can be perhaps the most helpful. You tell me. Should I go through the whole, all 4 projects?
I think you can go through them.
Go through them? Okay. So here is the Safe Walking Routes project. This is a very ambitious undertaking. We have one member of our task force, Vince Simonitis. I don't know, some of you may have heard of him or know him. And he put this together. He studied where older people in the city live and where they're most likely to walk to. You know, like they go to the movie theater, to the doctor, to the grocery store. And he mapped all of this and prepared this very intricate map and identified 3 areas in the city that are most likely to be areas where older adults are walking. And then basically the purpose of this was to identify that for the city, and the city was given this, the public works people were given this map and the findings, and they are now using it in their overall projects as they relate to sidewalk safety and street safety in general. So that project is for our task force is completed, except that sometimes we still use the study findings, prepared a long list of all the places where older adults may live and the street maps, and that may be used in other contexts. The project number 2, which is dearest to my heart and which I'd like to talk to you a little more about, but the purpose of this project is to make sure that the people in this city know what all is available to them in terms of services and programs for older adults. We found that there is so much to be offered and people just don't know about it, and that's, you know, obviously then they can't take advantage of it. So we have designed this project And basically what it consists of is first a list of organizations. We have over 50 of them that publish regular newsletters to their members. And we have then every month, we identify a topic that we think should be highlighted. We prepare a news bulletin on that particular topic, and we send it out to all the people on our list. And we hope that they use this to insert it in their newsletters or post it on a bulletin board they have, or otherwise make their members aware of that particular program or service. And so that has been going on almost exactly 2 years. The first of these newsletters we sent out in March of 2021. And in total, we have so far sent out 18. There were a few months when we didn't get one out, but there's a long list of different topics that we have used and that and we have been sending out to all these organizations. And what I'm hoping to talk to you about a little bit more in detail is to how can we make sure that your organizations that you're the head of and that you represent know about this and that they can, maybe participate in disseminating this information to their members. So in addition to sending out these newsletters, this is one of the news topics that was sent around. It was about the senior center accepting new members at that time. And this here on the left is a brochure that we prepared. It's like a trifold little brochure that has the highlights of our news bulletins and summarizes the most important ones. And we hand that out whenever we get a chance to distribute it to people. So that's the program that is intended to just, get people to understand what all is available and hope that they will then be able to utilize some of it. Project 3 that's in the beginning stages. That's an intergenerational program and events project. And so far what we've done is working with the Parks and Recreation Department. There have been game afternoons at the Senior Center, where students from local high schools hosted older adults for card games, board games, billiards, and so on. And they had a wonderful big screen where you could do e-bowling, which I found very fascinating. I'd never seen it before. So that's something that we hope to have more of and more participants in. But that's one way to bring the generations together and reduce the isolation of older adults, we hope. The city is also working with Villages of San Mateo County. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. That's an organization that helps people to age in their homes by providing transportation and other services. And we are working with the villages again on events that bring together volunteers from young people, volunteers, and older adults for games and other companionship. And most recently, we have started working with the Self-Help for the Elderly, which is an organization that basically rents the Central Park building here for its programs that go on there for 5 days a week, mostly serving the Asian community. And they are starting an escort program, and we are trying to work with them so we can incorporate that and use young volunteers so they can accompany older adults on trips to the doctors, grocery stores, and what have you. Because a lot of older adults are just very hesitant to go out, even with a taxi or other, ride, if they don't have someone take them to the door and accompany them and be there if there's anything happening. So that's something in the works right now. Okay, so the next one is Project 4. That's the age-friendly business recognition certification project. And basically what we're trying to do is identify businesses in the city that meet certain criteria that make them most suitable or attractive for older adults. And it's a Vince Simonides project. He has been very active in this one. It started by us designing a questionnaire to ask people what do they value most in interacting with local businesses. And we had more than 150 seniors that responded to that. And basically what it shows is that interactions with the employees of the businesses in phone or in person are a major factor that make a business attractive to older adults, which is not surprising. Right now, we are in the process. We just actually submitted an application to the ARP for funding that would allow us to train the employees of businesses in the city to be more aware of what they should, be focusing on when they are interacting with older adults. There's an outfit out there that does that type of training, and we hope that we get a grant to do that, and that would be part of this certification project. Businesses could, have their employees trained. It's on the internet, and then they would have a better chance to be certified as an age-friendly business. So those are the 4 projects. If you have any questions about them, be happy to talk about it. Here is the list of the members of the age-friendly task force. It's growing. We have people joining us, like every 2 or 3 months, there's a new member. So we're very happy about that. We love to have, people from all parts of the city join, and we're not quite there yet. Most of us concentrated south of 92, it seems like, but so that's a thing that we are working on, is to get a little more diversity in the membership of the task force. So that's my presentation. Be happy to talk about anything that you might want to ask about this program. It's been going on for 2 years in the city, or more than 2 years, really, because there was work before we submitted that application. And it's not a fast process, but it's taking place, taking hold, and people get more familiar with it. And we're just hoping to engage as many people as possible in this.
How old is age-friendly?
Age-friendly, you mean the whole program?
No, I mean, how old do I have to be to participate?
Oh, any age.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to have younger members in the task force, just because you get it. And we have some younger members. Our consultant, for instance, is rather young. We'd like to have, representation of all the various, and it's not just for older people. For an example, one of the things we've done is we got the police department to educate and also enforce the citizens about the rule that you're not supposed to park on the sidewalk, even with the rolled curves. You're supposed to just do very little of that, or your car is supposed to stick out into the sidewalk. And the police department has taken that up and is now, sometimes giving out citations, and has been trying to educate the public. That doesn't just benefit older people with wheelchairs or walkers. That also benefits strollers and everyone who needs a sidewalk to walk on. So it's not only, it's age-friendly, doesn't mean it's only for older people, but obviously that's a population that needs more support than others.
Good.
Mike, thanks for answering or asking Danielle's question that was on the chat. And Monica, there's some chats maybe.
Oh, I haven't looked into the chat, sorry.
No worries. I'm going to pop in here real quick and also ask. So I'm currently working for a company called Institute on Aging. It's a nonprofit based out of San Francisco, but they have a wide array of services from Southern California to Northern California. And I believe we also have some offices or sites in San Mateo. So I will explore that further Have
Mhm.
you heard of them before?
I have heard of them. I'm not familiar that they're very active in this county. But yeah, that'd be great if you would like to, maybe explore that and let me know if we should talk to them or somehow, get them involved. That'd be great.
Most certainly, yes. I will talk to them. I'll be there tomorrow, and I'm working there as a contractor, but I'm learning a lot, and with a lot of elders here. And I appreciate the fact to look at, how our sidewalks are to be safe. That's a big thing for.
Yeah.
I guess I qualify for AARP, by the way, and so I need those things taken care of as well. But I will look into how we can maybe partner.
Yeah.
Institute on Aging with the work that you all are doing too. So Monica Lee, yeah?
Yes,
So
yes. What is your name, Janet?
I'm Jeanette Simmons Jr., as Mike likes. I like do this little thing, right? Mike, Jeanette Simmons Jr. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I'd love to hear from you. And Lisa has my email. I mean,
perfect.
one thing I would like is if I could get it, is not only all your contact information, but have you support our newsletter, news bulletins, and tell your members that, to expect this and perhaps make use of it. And if you can give us an updated list, we have a list of neighborhood associations we got from the website, the city's website, which is the perfect thing to do. It doesn't go to all the right people, and some of the addresses were not, valid, it seemed. So if anything you can do to get us more up to date with how we distribute this would be wonderful.
We will do our best.
Yeah, Monica, if you send your information to the SMUHA email, we'll distribute it to all the member organizations.
And who, I mean, I've been sending it to SMUHA. I don't know who got it in the past. I have an email for SMUHA on my list. I just
Right, SMUHA is responded to by 3 people on this call, so we're all keeping an eye on it. Lisa, Tom, and I. So you just send us there, and we'll make sure it gets distributed.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to be able to have more direct contact with the various organizations, like but whatever you can do, whatever you can do.
Using good direct mail protocols, we'll send them out because we have permission to email to these people.
Okay.
If you'd like to get it directly, we can put something in that says, send an email to Monica if you want to get this directly.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, and yeah, that's great. Thank you. So yeah, maybe I should, yeah, that's wonderful.
I did put Monica's email in the chat for anyone that wants to poll and email her directly.
Yeah, that's my city email, so that's good.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for letting me make that presentation, and I'm hoping that I get a few. You think about it, and if you're at all interested, we are meeting at the senior center once a month, and again, you can ask me when the meetings are, usually on a Monday at 5 o'clock, later in the month, the 3rd or 4th Monday.
Great.
Very happy to see you there, just to listen, see what's going on with the task force. That'd be great.
That was wonderful. And I think all the programs are great, but I think the one that really caught my interest was the age-friendly restaurants and maybe how we could help with that.
That's a thing in progress. So if you're interested, let us know, because there's a lot more work to be done on that one. So yeah, be happy to have involvement from other people, from new people. That'd be great.
Yeah, the other area where I think it'd be interesting to do a little coordination is when we look at the Complete Street program, when we're talking about creating places for bicycles.
Yeah.
I think we ought to make sure that if it's where seniors are walking, that nobody's riding their bike on the sidewalk.
That's one thing. The other thing is actually that one of our members has brought up recently, and that we're going to pursue going forward, is bicycling for seniors. It is actually for many older adults, that's a perfect way to get around the city. And so we're trying to look at, can we identify routes that are safe for seniors to get to where they need to go, and maybe work it into our safe sidewalk program and the city's complete street program. I mean, it's ambitious, but we're also looking at that. Thank you. That's good.
All right.
Did anybody have any additional questions or for Monica, or should we continue with Dave's presentation with the ethics of San Mateo?
Okay, well, thank you. I will not stay. But
Thank you, Monica.
again, thank you for the opportunity. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Dave, sorry for the delay, but
no problem. We're all keyed up, ready to go, Michael. Guys, it's kind of like the pitch night in front of a whole bunch of venture capitalists tonight, I guess. But let me put my 2 bits in on this. I want to talk about something that is kind of what I look at as an underpinning of democracy. Everybody gets all riled up about voting and fairness of voting and elections and all of that kind of selection stuff. But then when it comes down to doing the job, there's one more piece of it. And that's what I consider ethical conduct on our appointed and elected officials. Because if they don't handle things, if they don't act in an ethical manner, it doesn't matter what the vote was, we're not getting what we asked for. So that's kind of a focus that I have. Next slide, please. So presenting Ethics San Mateo. Most of you, I think, probably know about this. We're a grassroots organization that we're promoting ethical conduct by our city government leadership and those seeking leadership roles, and businesses and organizations that are conducting transactions with or seeking to influence the city government. Lots of words, but bottom line is, are we governed by ethical people? Are we watching it? And are they being influenced by people who aren't ethical? Bottom line. Next slide, please. Oops, one back, Michael. You missed one. Thank you. We're newly formed. We're here to lead and support efforts by residents of San Mateo to ensure that our city is served according to highest level ethical standards and behavior. What less can we ask for? What do we deserve? We're issue agnostic. I mean, each of us as individuals, likes high-rise buildings or doesn't like high-rise buildings, likes bike lanes, doesn't like bike lanes, wants, huge mansions next door, doesn't want, whatever. We're issue agnostic. We leave that aside when we enter the doors of Ethics San Mateo, and we look at, is the decision being made in an ethical manner? We do take positions on how decisions are made, who's influencing them, and the tactics that are being used for the influencing. We do take positions when we observe conduct that may be in violation of ethical standards. Guys, raise your hand if you're ignorant of the stuff that's been going on in the city over the last 6 months, all the fights and battles and everything else going around and around. That's why a lot of people are getting involved with this. Michael, I think you missed one, I think. Go back. No, okay, I'm sorry, you're right. Go. Why? Again, lead and support. Okay, Michael, next slide, please. Slow down. There's one in between, I think. Well, okay, whatever. What have we done so far? We've got a lot. Michael, you're switching slides before I'm done with things here, buddy. Okay, what have we done so far? A lot of press releases gone out. We've done a number of what we call statements of position. When things happen and we feel there's something wrong, we call it out. When we put together, we research, we verify information. This isn't just opinion stuff. This is stuff that we see and we can verify. One of the first things we did was send out an ethics questionnaire to all the candidates for city council, as well as all the current city council people at the time back in October, November, and on all the city commissioners. We asked one very simple question. It was, do you support the establishment of an independent ethics commission in the city of San Mateo? About 5 people answered. What simpler thing could be than that to support ethics, right? About 5 people answered, and one of the most telling answers was that, well, they weren't going to answer the question unless they knew who was asking. Well, we sent them 2 pages of what Ethics San Mateo was. It's interesting that we didn't have everybody falling over themselves say, no, we want ethical government. We've had statements of position that's gone out for what we call Signgate, the admitted theft of campaign signs by a current city commissioner, and our position on this hullabaloo that went around with the vacancy appointment and the accusations and all of that stuff's going on, which we have no idea what the fallout on that is yet. But that was quite a thing. We've communicated with the San Mateo County DA about Signgate. We've done that pre-election ethics questionnaire. We've sent the statements of position to city council, city manager, city attorney, the San Mateo Daily Journal. And we now really have a website, www.ethicssanmateo.com. It's the .com is live up. 1 page right now, working on getting the rest of it up. And we have real email addresses, including information at ethicssanmateo.com. It's up, it's running, email us. The most significant thing that I'm just really thrilled about is that we are forming an advisory council, because none of us, there's about 14 of us on membership in Ethics San Mateo. None of us can claim to be a recognized expert in ethics. We all know what we feel is right. We look at it from certain viewpoints, but none of us can say we've got the real a bona fide for ethics experts. So I've made a number of contacts. There's follow-up in process, but I have some very top level people from various diverse groups in San Mateo that are interested in helping form an advisory council to let us know, to give us some idea of where the guardrails should be, to let us know maybe we're going the wrong direction, or maybe we need to look at something, and to help set standards. We've seen this slide before. Next.
Yeah, that changed on its own.
Oh, okay. All right. Medium term, medium short term goals. We've got an interim board of directors, which consists of the founders, and we're going to go into form as a 501c4 nonprofit. That will allow us to be lobbyists. Our lobbying efforts will be for ethics, independent ethics commission, and other similar things, such as having to identify yourself as a lobbyist to the city, which we don't currently have. We're going to have a board of directors with specific roles, executive director, etc. And we are looking for people who have expertise of at least some level or another in these areas to come volunteer and help us out. We're raising money internally to fund the fees to incorporate. We have enough to do it now. We're recruiting members from a broad community of San Mateo residents. We're going to have participative membership. In other words, we'll have a board of directors, but we'll have a lot of members, and they will have a vote in what's going on. We're establishing and recruiting that advisory council, as I said. We're following up on a continuing basis the statements of position. We're beginning brainstorming for programs, awards for stellar ethical conduct, not just, complain to somebody, but let's award people who are doing really good things. And we're initiating some activities to promote the Independent Ethics Commission. and the city ordinance regulating lobbyists and lobbying activities. Next slide, Michael. How are we doing so far? I know personally we've gotten under the skin as a few people. There's a commissioner in the city that whenever she sees me foams at the mouth. I have some of the local lobbyists that when they look at me, they run the other way. It's lovely. That's a badge of honor as far as I'm concerned. I'm not here to be a pain in anybody's side, but if you're not behaving in an ethical manner and you're influencing and you're affecting the residents of San Mateo, then you have I have a problem with you, and you're going to have a problem with us. If you remember the comment that was made at a city council meeting when I believe it was December, when they were looking into the proposition of putting on the agenda, not even making any decisions, but putting on the agenda of city council, whether to look into the commissioner's action on stealing the campaign signs. 3 of our council members just adamantly refused to do that. Now State Rep Diane Pappin was just livid about what had happened, and her comment was, "This isn't going away." Well, it's not. This is not going away. We are going to hold our public officers and officials appointed and elected to a high level of high standard of ethical conduct, period. I need people to help us. We have, like I said, 12, 13, 14 people. I need people with expertise in certain fields that you've seen to come and join us. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be hard work for a little while. Next slide, Michael. I think that's questions now.
Yeah, I think that's the last one.
Oh, this is my little closing statement. Oh, it's one issue to become a silent majority because of apathy and unwillingness to fight the good fight. It's another when the majority is silenced by screaming voices using intimidation, canceling, unfounded accusations, fear-mongering, manipulation of facts, media control, and censorship. You know, we need to step up to the plate, guys. Can I get some of you to join us? Write information at ethicssanmateo.com and send you all information.
All righty.
Questions?
Yes, I think Danielle wanted to ask a question.
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much. Great presentation. I have 2 questions, and I'm going to try to be as delicate as possible. Okay, so the first one is Shoreview Parkside Neighborhood Association. We have decided to be focused not on political campaigns or lobbying. We want to focus on our neighborhood. So how would a 501c3 partner with the ethics committee? Because I do feel like this is something I should share with my neighbors and community, but we're not going to be focused on anything that's political or contentious in that way.
Well, first of all, we're not political. We don't, politics is winning elections. Politics is, one thing or another. We're looking at ethical conduct.
Okay. So my next kind of question, and I apologize if this is contentious, but is it the point of ethics to be fair and equitable and to have a balanced perspective? Because it definitely seems from the presentation that there is a very clear point of view or agenda. And I'm not saying that's wrong or right. I have my own opinion on what's happening with the mayor and all of that. But I just want to make sure that if we have an ethics committee, it really is unbiased and has a balanced point of view and isn't starting from a place of one-sidedness.
Yeah, well, first of all, we don't call it an ethics committee. If something is formed by the city, it would be a commission, and it would be part of the governance of the city itself. Has nothing to do with Ethics San Mateo, which is also not a committee either. My feeling is a committee is just a good excuse to never get anything done. That's just my opinion. I have absolutely no desire whatsoever to serve on a city governance commission. Okay, first of all, second of all, we have found so many verifiable instances of ethical breaches that it's hard not to sound like we've already made up our mind. But everything that we find and everything we publish about has verifiable, factual, undeniable, unless you're in some other universe, proof that it really did take place. For example, the commissioner that was accused of taking down campaign signs, people were arguing about the photos were fake, that this wasn't real, but that particular individual admitted in writing and wrote to the council that he had done it. There's no doubt that he had done it. Was it an ethical thing to do? That's part of a judgment, but it is theft. Now, minor petty theft, the kind of thing that goes on all the time, yes, but in our view, a public official should be held to a high level standard of conduct.
Sure.
Okay. So that's it. And we're trying to be fair. I get a little intense over things at times because I have held almost my entire adult life positions of public trust in one form or another. Mm-hmm. And it irks the heck out of me to watch people flaunt things and not hold themselves to that kind of standard when they're public officers.
I appreciate your passion. I just wanted to verify that everything that you've shared, like you're talking about, has evidence to support the argument.
Yeah, absolutely. I will not, if we ever publish anything or say anything that turns out to be untrue, we immediately say, well, wait a minute, we got bad information. And we verify everything, everything possible that did this or did this not take place. And if it's a gray area, of was it ethical or not, you know what, we're not going to go jumping into something that isn't really black and white.
Copy. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. That's great.
You're welcome.
This is great, by the way. I definitely want to share it with our neighborhood. I just want to make sure I do my due diligence. So
good. Thank you. And as I said, my goal is that we get this thing rolling. I'm going to step away from it because I do get really intense, and I know that. But it's only because I have a passion for this.
I think Mike Caggiano has a question.
Yeah, thanks for your interest in this issue. My understanding, though, are there not ethics in black and white in the city charter or best practices? I mean, it seems like you're organizing something that sort of exists or should exist.
You know what? It is my greatest hope that it is. However, it isn't. If you read our charter, it is very loose and unenforced. Okay. If you take a look at the city of Santa Clara, I was looking at some material there. They have a much better program, and they're teamed up with the University of Santa Clara and their ethics department there. I have contact with CSM, and I talked with the president of CSM about getting some involvement from their academic staff up there that teaches ethics courses for possibly even joining our group. But no, there's certain statutes that exist in bribery, in campaign donations and things like that. Those are pretty black and white, absolutely. But that's where it ends. The rest of it is at the discretion of, for example, our city council. Again, I'll bring up the example where you have a sitting city commissioner who has admitted to petty theft during an election of campaign signs, and they chose not even to look into it.
Well, on that point, I just know what I see in the journal, and that was referred to the DA's office, which is over and above what you guys would be, obviously. And they found nothing. So did you look into that?
Do you absolutely, when you say they found nothing, did they find that a crime didn't occur, or have they decided not to pursue?
Well, they decided it was no crime. Again, I don't want to put words in their mouth. You might want to contact them and find out what the exact wording was, but that's their job to see wrongdoing, unethical behavior, and it was referred to them, as well as I think some other issues regarding conduct of the city council. So you might want to look into that. It just strikes me as, are you setting up like a star chamber of, we're watching everyone? I don't know. I mean,
I want to sit down with you and discuss this thing, but let me tell you, I have had personal contact with people who were involved in all of this, and I do know how the DA's office works. First of all, the DA does not pursue anything in the way of civil ethics, period. They are all about criminal. The DA's office also, the police department had determined that a crime had occurred, or they would not have referred it to the district attorney's office for prosecution if the DA so desired to do so. The DA may have, for any number of reasons, declined to prosecute the case. That is not a determination that a crime did not take place.
I don't know. I read the article in the journal. It got the impression it was kind of what's called a nothing burger. I don't know.
Well,
the journal isn't the best source of news all of the time, however.
Yeah, true. As I say, it would be best to get a reading from the police department and what they determined to forward to the DA's office and see what the status.
We have done that. We know that.
And you weren't happy
You
with
are,
the
you're
result.
listening. You are listening to opinions by
Okay.
newspaper. Okay.
Sorry, Dave. We have a few more agenda items.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to get in, but get in touch with me so we can talk about this, and I'll show you all of what we have.
Good. Thank you very much. Tough topic, something worth discussing. John Adams once said that this government is suitable for an ethical and educated population. It will not serve for any other. So just keep that in mind.
How far did he get?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we have some minutes to approve. Lisa, did you want to run that?
I sent out just a couple of changes. I corrected the spelling of Rick Sakuta's name, and then toward the end, and you guys can correct me, I think I have the right version here that I'm looking at. In regard to our upcoming SMUHA meetings, April and May will be in person. April and May will be in person at Beresford. Is that right, Mike? And then after that is Senior Center. Okay,
Correct.
I think I'm looking at an old copy here. So yeah, the April and May meetings will be in person at the Beresford Rec Center, and after that will be in person at the Senior Center.
And we will have a Zoom hybrid.
Oh, great. For all meetings, or?
Why not?
Okay. So if someone would make a motion, if anyone has any other changes to the minutes, please let me know. If not, I'd love to get a motion to accept the minutes.
I just want to compliment you on the preciseness of your minutes.
Evidently, they're not that precise, but you get what you get, right?
Fantastic.
Anyway.
Good. I second.
All right, I'm sorry. So Mike, was that a first from Mike Caggiano and a second?
Yeah,
from
that's the first, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll call it that.
And everyone else,
Approve, raise your hand.
all approved?
Yes.
Great. If you don't approve, find your thumbs down icon.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
great. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Lisa. And I guess Joanne's not on, is she?
Yeah, she never answered about the bank balance, which is what our treasurer's report usually is. So we'll just pen that to the next meeting.
Okay, and it's probably a good time to just go ahead and say, I know I'm guilty of not bringing the Sunnybury SMUHA form and fees, so anybody who hasn't submitted, please do so. And then I guess that will take us to the neighborhood roundtable.
I just have a quick question. So as the new Harbor Town rep, do you bill the HOAs? Or do I need to ask Rich Hedges whether we paid up and the good standing or gonna get kicked out, or how does that work for dues?
They will chase you if you haven't paid. Is the short answer.
Okay, so I will know. I'll get a fuzzy picture or some kind of X over it or something if we haven't paid from Harbor
Yeah.
Town.
Yeah, usually Rich pays it out of his pocket and gets reimbursed, so.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, so you let me know if I need to do anything.
Yeah, that might not be the way to go, as now that he's a council member. He
Yeah.
might want to
One
pay it some other
thing-
way first. There's a form, Susan, that has to be submitted with it. So, yeah, just check with him. I'm sure he can lead you down the right.
Yeah.
I think it
that
goes to PO
form-
box, and the PO box is on the form.
Yeah, and please fill the form out, because Harbortown hasn't updated theirs in 20 years, so,
Oh,
I'm sure it's way out of date, and to the
I
point.
think Rich has probably been there the whole time and not much has changed.
Well, I think that's what he says, it's the same, but, we need a refresh. The other thing is, you heard Monica talk about the list of housing homeowners associations, neighborhood associations on the city website. That's way out of date. So, I volunteered and Drew agreed that the SMUHA should play a role in managing that, even though not every association is a member. And the only way we can do that is from the membership forms that come in. And we can use that as evidence to the city that, yeah, this is legitimate. There's a signature from an officer of the neighborhood association saying.
Is there any way, Lisa, you could send me I hear what you're saying, Mike, that you can send me that form? Or someone, the treasurer or someone?
Yeah, we'll have it sent from the San Mateo United. The form I
you.
have is a little bit corrupted, but I think that Tom and Mike have access to a better form. So, yeah.
Okay, great.
We'll get one to you.
Rich should have it, because that all went out, I believe, did it not? 'Cause I
Correct.
got mine, and yeah.
Okay. I'll check with
I used to live in Harbortown, matter of fact. 2 years.
You
I
lived
took-
did you get kicked out of everywhere?
I get kicked out of everywhere. They say, go. The ethics committee's after me.
By the way, we have, I don't know whether you realize it, but Danielle is a new revitalized homeowners association from Shoreview Parkside. Shayna is from Laguna. I want to say Laguna Niguel, but that's not right.
Laguna Vista.
Laguna Vista. So
Shana,
we're,
could you, in the comments, just type up your last name so that I have it for the minutes, please?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
but the District 4 people are energizing the neighborhood associations again. And we talked about it at the officers meeting, but we think San Mateo United should drop the word homeowners in our title. And, conveniently, we've also registered ourselves as San Mateo United without homeowners. And I think that's a better name for what we're trying to achieve, because many of our members do accept renters in their membership. And I doubt if a renter sent in a membership application to most homeowners associations, they would get accepted anyway. So here's to having that. And I see Robert's agreeing, so, and I'm getting a lot of nods, so we'll move in that direction. Sorry, Tom, I'm maybe preempting a meeting.
What's our ratio to renters? Aren't we close to 50% of the population?
I've
Something
heard
like-
that.
Yeah,
I've-
it's surprising.
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know, but I think there's a lot of more rental going on around. I know when I used to drive around the city, I was surprised at the number of buildings that existed. So away we go. Who is back joining us? Oh, and please unmute yourself.
Unmute, yeah.
There.
Cindy Kodeman.
Okay, hi, good to see you, Cindy.
And I think we have just maybe 5 minutes left. Do we want to just do a quick neighborhood roundtable if anybody has any pressing issues that are going on, especially since we recently had storms, and hopefully everybody has been safe and is getting everything back together? Look, Chief, you have your hand up.
Yeah, just to let you know, I met with Rick Sakuda and Drew. I think I may have given a report last time on the Marina Lagoon Advisory Committee and the protocols. And it was a eye-opening meeting, followed up by Rich Hedges and Rick Sakuda meeting with Drew and Azalea, the Public Works Director. And as of now, at any rate, it appears that the old protocols of involving the Marina Lagoon Advisory Committee and residents' boots on the ground will have a part in the protocol and communication loop with Public Works, which is something they've really, really struggled with ever since that was negated. So I think things are working well there. Just want to let you know, MLAC is got an ad hoc advisory committee that they are going to be meeting with Public Works on, and there's representatives from all of the different, or at least quite a few of the different D4 lagoon facing HOAs on that. So that's good. And just FYI, Longfellow development in the old, it's the old like Java Adobe building, which is right by 19th Avenue and Mariners Island, just over and across the lagoon from where the fish market is. You go down and it's one of those buildings there. They've come in and it's been determined that they are going to develop that into a bioscience lab, BLS level 2. We've been meeting with them to ensure that the biohazards there are under control. And it's a little troubling, and we did bring this up with Drew, that there is no city. I don't know if you all saw the San Carlos article in the Daily Journal the other day, where they are looking at all biohazard lab development and putting special planning regulations together. As tech leaves and biohazard and biotech becomes sort of the mid-peninsula infill development, really, if they go into existing buildings, and I know we're running out of time, there's no special planning, special codes, CEQA, or anything. They have real requirements for HVAC, a lot of augmented HVAC, which provides a lot of noise. There's also a lot of issues around the venting and the deliveries and the refuse. So I brought it up to Drew that we need to look at some planning and regulations like San Carlos and others for these biotech companies that come in. And we are meeting with Longfellow. Just wanted to bring that up to you.
Great.
Great, thank you for the update.
So one thing that Baywood is doing that might be of interest is we have commissioned for a formal study of the historic resources in the sections of Baywood where that is most prevalent. So that's kicking off soon. And we're hopeful that the conclusion of it will be protection for historic assets, so we don't end up tearing down the history of the city as we move forward. And that is, one of our city councilors is visiting the meeting at the moment, but we know that there is a priority that's been brought forward by the city council to better track and measure the historic resources in the city. So we're hoping that this will initiate a process where we finally finish the job that was started in 1989 and identify what's special and what's old and so forth. And we protect that as we grow according to the needs. So that's what Baywood is up to.
Could I just ask of the flooding? I visited Arroyo Court yesterday, and the level's way down. I mean, so I guess we skated on this one pretty well. But has anyone been down like 16th Street to see how that area worked out? Because it seemed like if they had, I guess, lowered, kind of referencing the chief's talk about the Marina Lagoon, were they able to get it lower this time? Or do you have any readout on how they reacted differently?
Can I make a comment, Mike? Because Rick's been keeping me updated and Drew's been talking a little bit about it. There is a report that's coming in on a consultant that had looked at sort of what the issues are and what went wrong. And no one wants to do a spoiler alert on that, but there were problems with pumps and there were issues and lowering, and there's just everything. It's this sensitive balance, and once that balance gets out, and you don't see right away that this pump isn't working or that pump. So I think we're going to get a comprehensive report on that from the consultants. But I think that there have been changes already made that have resulted in some better outcomes. And I have no knowledge. I am the last one to ask. You could ask the CUDA and those guys, but my feeling is that there's been some incremental change, and that either we didn't see the levels or volume, but there has not been significant flooding that we know of.
Good.
Yeah, I can add on to that there's a lot more communication between the city and the Marina Lagoon community. And there was an emergency operations center raised, not the end of this week, but earlier this week for the storms. And there was a lot less rain. So there was a lot less to deal with. But I think people are a lot more sensitive to it. I would also encourage everyone to attend one way or another the Monday Night Council, because there will be a report out on the storm drain system.
Yeah.
And a recommendation that there be a fee put on the November 2024 ballot to pay to essentially redo the system or update it dramatically, because it's a 100-year-old system and there's a lot of work that needs to get done. So I think that would be something for the neighborhoods to keep, keep close eye on. In terms of Arroyo Court, San Mateo Creek doesn't drain into the lagoon. But it was, as you know, on New Year's Eve, very badly hit, but it has not had that kind of damage since then. And the city's working very closely with the Water Resource Board and everyone, because we don't control Crystal Springs Reservoir, they do. But when they let off excess water, it floods into San Mateo Creek. So that's what we're working on developing an extended plan around.
Lisa, thank you for the update. Do you know if with the stormwater tax, there has been any talk about the pricing strategy and how districts will be taxed?
I don't know, but if you go on, my guess is by now, the agenda and contents for the Monday night meeting will have been released on the City of San Mateo website under the public portal. And there may be some information there.
Okay, I will just share from the
Definitely
Shoreview
show up on Monday.
From the Shoreview Parkside meeting, because we actually had a meeting yesterday. This district, if it is not a fair pricing across all of San Mateo, I mean, there will be a riot, no joke. We're not going to pay more than anyone living anywhere else because it's all our water, and we will get all 8,000 residents out on the streets if we need to. So I
think the feeling, when we had Drew coming and talking about this last month to SMUHA, I think the overall feeling of everybody that was in attendance was that it should be a shared cost.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I just really want to reiterate that and I'll make sure to let our neighborhood know that that's coming up.
Danielle, are people still experiencing sinking in the land in your?
Yeah, so we've got a few issues. So actually part of the Shoreview Street is sinking and FEMA is involved because there are people with businesses. And they can't run their daycares or operations out of their homes right now. So a FEMA inspector has been out here 2 weeks ago. They're coming back next week, and they've already pretty much told us we'll be going back in the flood zone. And that is like a combination of pile driving, the water, and then obviously the drought. The sedimentation and everything has shifted in this area. All the trees are falling over in Shoreview and Parkside. I can tell you right now, our priority is actually more on the Windy Hill development that's going to happen at the fish market. We're going to have a meeting with Rich Hedges and the developer mid-April because a lot of residents are concerned about traffic control and how we're going to be mitigating that through all the development. So that if anyone wants to join, I'm also going to join Susan next week for the Public Works meeting. So we've got a few battles going on.
No, they're not just your battles. It affects everyone.
Yeah.
So good.
We still don't have an answer yet, Danielle, as to whether Windy Hill is in their pile driving. I forget what it's called right now, but the impact report of the pile driving is just required for their property, or should be, as we've asserted, for all of the properties adjacent to the lagoon, because we all have those sinking issues, and there were a lot of lawsuits in the last time there was pile driving along the lagoon. And Windy Hill's kind of saying it's up to the city. The city's kind of saying it's up to Windy Hill. So we're not sure yet. And we've asked them both for clarification, because SMUHA evidently should cover some of it, but I don't think it's enforceable.
SMUHA has no enforcement mechanism. The only way you can, if there's a SMUHA violation, somebody has to sue.
So we're hoping that they will do the right thing and get that environmental impact of the pile driving, which should evidently last for 7 or 8 months, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to whatever, and parts of it. I'm not saying it's going to be continuous, but it will be over the course of that time. And so homeowners along the lagoon and residents are probably going to want to make sure that they know what those impacts are ahead of time.
All right.
Hey, Chief, can I ask one item? I think in Concord, they were doing some studies as far as if they wanted to put in anything below grade. There's also a process called dewatering, which was another problematic feature of keeping the water from filling in the prospective foundation or cellar or whatever they're going to do. Aside from that, I thought there was over near the racetrack area when they were looking at pile driving. Wasn't there another process that was wasn't including the banging thing? It was a more gradual, or I don't quite know engineering wise what it was, but that was an alternative to the actual pile driving. Do you know if they?
So Fiesta Gardens was able to, and Sue and Danielle, you guys should link up with Fiesta Gardens people, Rich Neve, because they really got all over them in regard to noise and vibration, and we're able to get a decent reduction, as I recall in my tiny little brain from the notes that I was taking minutes of those meetings way back when. So definitely worth talking to Rich Neve with Fiesta Gardens. Yeah,
because I think they use that for the UFAS project too. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. This is great.
I think, Lisa, are you you're on mute.
Thank you very much for that. I'm just looking at the public portal and the report, Danielle, and it looks like they're proposing two things. They're proposing a citywide fee for stormwater drainage, and that would be the same across the city. And then for the marine lagoon assessment, there is a assessment, the fee for stormwater is X dollars per month. The stormwater assessment appears to be a flat fee of $10 for most of the city and $50 or $150 for properties within walking distance or fronting the lagoon respectively. So they've broken it up into stormwater and fee, which is citywide, it appears to be equal for everyone. And then an assessment flat fee, which is much less, but it varies whether you're near the lagoon or far away from the lagoon. So take a look at the report. Anybody can see it. It's on the City of San Mateo public portal right now.
You know, and I believe Rich Hedges said that he believes that we're getting double billed, that it's going on both for those who front the lagoon, and he's looking into that.
Yeah. So anyhow, everybody should read that.
Yeah.
Homework for the weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll definitely look into that. We didn't get to that topic at our neighborhood meeting yesterday. But we did pick a board, decide we're going to be a 501c3, pick our bylaws, made a lot of progress. So we're rolling.
Good.
Did anybody else have a issue or comment?
I hope
Or-
not, because my fingers are falling off.
Okay, otherwise I
Hey,
think we should
We're
all,
doing well. We're only 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
otherwise I think we should all get back to our, oh, Lord.
Lori's got something.
Unmute, Lori.
Okay.
Oops, you're muted. You're remuted.
Remuted. You've been.
Oh, you must be using your
I keep
keypad or something. It's like double clicking you.
Yeah.
So you unmute yourself and then you remute.
There you go.
There you
Okay,
go.
there. All right. I just found out that we will have a meeting on March the 28th, and it's going to be a meeting regarding some of the issues with the day laborers. There has been a slight improvement in the public urination issue and in the drinking around 4th and El Dorado. But there will be a meeting that will be held between Prometheus and Gas and Shop, which is that gas station, and the police, and some residents as well. So that will take place end of March. Also, we will select an outstanding home maintenance award for our neighborhood. And I think we'll be thinking seriously about a national night out block party. And that's it.
Great. Thank you, Lori.
Oh, there
No
was one.
public drinking, right, Lori?
Yeah, public drinking, public urination, right?
Oh, I can't
The
even do
usual.
that.
Yeah, and one other thing to share, I just heard today, I don't know the details, but as many of you may know, our city manager, Drew Corbett, is retiring at the end of June. And we've started a search to find his replacement. There's going to be a community survey that will be out hopefully next week on the city website, and it will be up for about 3 weeks. So there will be, publicity, but I'll share it with SMUHA, and then really please share it with all the neighborhoods. And then also there's going to be a public community input meeting on the 25th of March. I know nothing more than that yet, but asking the community what they would like to see in a city manager. So not a lot of time to spread the word on that one, but I think an important meeting for people input.
Thank
You know, I think a bunch of us are still hoping, and I don't know if you have an idea of the best way that we could put that in formal request to the city council. I mean, the city council are the bosses of the city manager, and the city manager basically controls the hiring process with the recruiter, only bringing forward sort of and recruiting and shoulder tapping the people they really think would be a fit. And I just wonder if there's any way we can formally request a community presence, as is done in most other cities and has been done in this city, with the exception, actually has been done in every single city manager search, with the exception of this one. So community input's good, meetings are great, listening sessions, yada, yada, but I do think that there will be steering to certain candidates, and it would be really important for the community to weigh in.
Okay, I will let them know, Sue.
Yeah, I agree. I think too many times the focus of community outreach is on, is not on the neighborhoods. And, you know, there's a lot of focus on groups that may have been underrepresented in the past, but folks who are, you know, speaking for neighborhoods seem to be not of interest to the.
One thing I can say is there are several city council members who are very active advocates for neighborhoods now.
Yes.
But I will definitely pass that on.
And with that, I think it is a good point in time to close this meeting and let everybody get back to families and
Great.
other
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
interests.
Thank you. Good job, Thomas.
Thank
Good
you.
job, Mike. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, so I'm gonna hit the end button.
Bye.